All right, welcome back to the Rough Example Datsun 510 project. I've got a few updates this week. It's really exciting. I was able to get all of the suspension in there. Um, I am running the Silvermine air air shocks up front, um, and then everything down here is Techno Toy tuning. And yeah, I mean they're just it's such a nice part. Um, it's really beautiful, honestly, and I've had it sitting on my desk for like the past year, waiting to go in. So it's pretty exciting to get that in there, and be able to. I could throw a wheel on there, and feel like I'm getting somewhat closer to completion. Um, I also got the steering box installed. Don't be like me and forget to put in the rod that goes in there first, because I had to completely uninstall it and then put that rod up there and redo it. Um, so yeah, that's in there. I put a stabilizer plate in here. I think I got that from Techno Toy Tuning as well, if I remember right. And it's just a steel plate that kind of strengthens that area. Um, and I've also been working on installing the sway bar. That's what this is down here. This is a Techno Toy Tuning part as well. Um, they require you to bolt or to weld one of these blocks in here for it to bolt onto. Um, so I started welding that in there, um, and the welder kind of crapped out on me, so on pause. But that will just bolt up into there. Um, and so that's most of what I've been working on this week. Um, I'm also working on getting the rear suspension ready. Um, Last week I was talking about using that rust remover spray um, to get the rust off of these rear lower control arms. It works pretty well, I gotta say. Um, it's kind of hard on a large part like this, but I was using that stuff to clean up some bolts that were like completely rusted over, and it was amazing. Highly recommend that stuff. Um, so I ended up wire wheeling most of this, and then I painted it with some like rust inhibiting, um, just black paint. Um, and so hopefully next week I'll be able to put the rear end into the car as well. And then I've been working on refinishing these C-pillar vents. Um, from the factory, they had a chrome accent on the outside and black in here. And then I'm going to have to go back with like a rag with some lacquer thinner and just hit the top of this raised section, because that is supposed to be chrome as well. But I think I'm going to give that another coat or two, make sure I've got it really well covered. Um, so yeah, I've got the other one over here that's you can see that's how it started out. It's pretty nasty still, but it just takes time. A lot of little nooks and crannies and details on those that you have to get. But let's see. I think that might be most of it for this week. I mean, I got this in here. I might have had that done last week. That's just um, the evap carbon canister thing for the gas tank. Oh, and I got the latch installed on here, so I can actually close that up. Yeah, still need to work through my other tail light, get that done. Um, but I think in the next week I'm going to be putting in that rear end, which is going to require me to get the car off of this cart because it kind of goes up in this space. So I'm probably gonna have to put it onto like some jack stands or something. And I've really been enjoying having this on the cart so I can move it around. So I might just kind of procrastinate on that for a little while. But that's kind of the next step, and then I could theoretically put the car on the ground on the wheels as soon as I get some tires for it. I've got the wheels over here. Um, these are 15 by 11s, so it's a pretty aggressive fitment. So I got to figure out what tire to run on a 15 by 11. If anybody has any advice, maybe they sell like a 245 or 235. But yeah, pretty meaty wheels for the back of that thing. And then the fronts are right here. I think these are only like 7.5s. So they're a lot smaller. No problem there, but yeah, getting close. Oh, another thing I had to do today is weld on here. This thing had broken off on the gas door, so when I would mount it on the car, it was like really floppy, like it would sit low. So I put a little weld on there. You can kind of see it. So I think I'm going to repaint this part, do the whole thing. And I need to get back to the brake lines as well. I think I was traumatized working on those, so I've been slacking on that. And then I've got my differential. Just getting this all prepped and ready to go into the rear end, which I've got set up right here. And I also have a Fab rear sway bar that I'm going to be installing on there. So I got to figure out, exactly where these bolt onto there. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but we'll figure that out. And then the differential just bolts into there, and then you can put the whole thing on a jack and just install it all in one shot. So that'll probably be next week if everything goes as planned. So thanks for tuning in. That's all I got for today. You can check me out on Instagram as well at Rough Example, and have a great week.